I'm Denise Incao. I'm a ceramics artist. I started working with clay when I was in college. I studied anthropology while I was working on my BA at Auburn University, and that interest in things that are primitive from the earth or coming from a natural organic source really has influenced me deeply. I used to experiment a lot with heavy texture and large surfaces. That resulted in a great series of abstract, expressionistic wall pieces that fit together kind of like gigantic puzzles. I like the idea of working really spontaneously without thinking about it or planning what's happening, just going with the flow and being expressive without editing what's happening was the point. Eventually, I started making these faces and masks, which start out just as a slab of clay slumped over a form that's a basic shape of a face, which I vary from piece to piece. Since I work without drawings, I let the shape of the face determine how the facial features start to emerge. I truly believe that these faces determine who they are and what they look like. I'm just here to help them come into being. I use high-fire stoneware clay. One of the beautiful things about clay is that it's earthy and organic, and I like to let the natural little imperfections that show up in a piece incorporate into the personality of that piece, kind of like moles or scars or birthmarks. I use an oxide wash on most pieces to bring out depth of the features and textures. I sometimes enhance the pieces with acrylic paint for metallic effects. I like to use different materials for head pieces or hair, and I love to incorporate beads into the faces as well as the hair and headdresses. I do not create replicas of any existing pieces. All of my masks are original and they come from inside me. But I think that each piece speaks something very unique and personal to whoever is attracted to them. One major influence for me has always been my continuing work with children that I teach classes to. Children are great reminders that if we approach our work from a place of innocence and fearlessness, that we can leave behind the rules and constraints of what we have always been taught is the correct way to go about things, or the concern about the way things should end up looking. In the mind of a child, anything is possible, and very young children are absolutely uninhibited in their approach to creating. And that is awesomely inspiring to me.